Hello tacticians, it's Nox here, and today we're going to be looking at the Tyranid machine of war, the Biovore. And like all machines of war, it's going to unlock at the common rarity. And as you may have seen with the other machine of war, the battery, you can upgrade each of its primary and secondary ability using specific upgrades. Now, some of them we are more than familiar with, such as the ability badges, the upgrade materials, and the scrap. And with all machines of war, it has its own type of component, which is the Xenos component. Now, where this will be found, it will be found during the event itself and possibly elsewhere, but details are limited on exactly where they will be found. Now, as with all machines of war, this has a primary modifier, which is its bio minefield, which uses the munitions that you need to gain, and its secondary attack, which is the spore mine launcher, which you can use without using up munitions. So what do? Well, the active, when you use it, targets an enemy on the battlefield. If there are 3 or more spore mines on the battlefield, all of them will immediately take a turn and move towards the target, if possible. Otherwise, summon 3 spore mines in 3 hexes adjacent to the target, and those spore mines have a certain amount of health based on its level and deal toxic damage, again based on its level, with its floating death. Now, floating death means it has +1 movement when starting its turn within synapse range, and the unit explodes when it attacks or if an adjacent friendly spore mine is also defeated, and then it deals toxic damage to all adjacent enemies. But it doesn't explode if it's overkilled, so really you want these to float gently next to your enemy and then explode in a gory amount of biomass. The secondary, the spore mine launcher, only summons a single spore mine into a free hex anywhere on the battlefield that is not adjacent to an enemy. Spore mines explode when attacking or when, again, they or an adjacent spore mine is defeated, and again it deals toxic damage. So basically this is going to be littering the battlefield with spore mines that float around, dealing death wherever they may go. And all that really changes as this goes up the level is how much damage it actually does. So I've got the little graphic there for you all to see, but basically at the maximum level you're looking at around about 6,000 damage on average. So what does this look like in battle? So here we are against the level 1 legendary Rogaldorn battle tank, and we're using a Diamond 1 team with level 44 skills, and on the characters they've got epic crit items. And the idea is basically try and kill the guardsmen with your guys in the first turn to make sure there's not too many on the second turn. Now with the Biovore we'll quite happily put down a spore mine. Hopefully it might survive, it probably won't, but at least it takes the attention off our main units so we can kill the Imperial Guards next turn. As you can see, they kill that and it drives forward. And the first thing we want to do is make sure that the Rogaldorn battle tank has the Neuro Parasite on it. And the reason for this is we now use Abraxas's summons to start racking up these Neuroparasites. Now, this hasn't got much to do with the spore mine beyond the fact that we want it down on the ground so it can distract the Cadian Guardsman and maybe even kill one. But going back over here, what we're going to do now is move Eldrian away, which will kill off all the summons, and do another one, which means the summons will attack again. And again, we'll do it one more time with Ahriman, and again attack. So the whole point behind this is to rack up the number of neuroparasites. So in one turn, although admittedly it is now turn 2, we are up to 10 neuroparasites. And of course, with Ragnar, we'll just kill one of these guys. From this point on, it's a normal sort of attack. So we're going to summon in another spore mine. We're going to put it in the trench up here. And next turn, I think we'll use the special ability. But for now, make sure that nobody is going to get hit. And carry on stacking up those neuroparasites to do as much damage as possible. And it managed to shoot them this time. So we are going to do this. We're going to use the munition to see exactly where it launches them. Now we can see they're in here, and we're not going to move the Neurothrope, so we'll just attack with these two to get those neuroparasite hits up to the maximum of 15, and as you can see, it's actually stopped that Overwatch, so that's quite good for us. We'll move Ragnar out of the way, and indeed hit with the Neurothrope, and then it'll drive forward without exploding. But it's not really the explosions that are causing the damage, it's the Neurothrope. But these spore mines are really there to distract the Imperial Guardsmen from what we're trying to do. But again, we carry on doing this, and we'll put our Neurothrope in the trenches and hit again. Now we've got 2 turns left, so as you can see, we can now still use the munitions. So there's no restriction on how many times you can use munition in a battle, or indeed how many times you can use the secondary ability. So use them how you see fit. Again, I'm going to launch, and again 3 more Neurothropes, and they explode as it drives over it, probably doing a small amount of damage. Now we can't attack with Ragnar, but we can, if we actually move, carry on doing damage with everyone else. And the final one, we're just going to launch a spore mine into there. So as you can see, the spore mine itself doesn't do much in this setup. All that it really does is at the beginning helps you get rid of those guardsmen. Beyond that, it's not too helpful in the guild raids. However, in the tournament arenas where it is allowed and the guild war, I imagine it will be much more useful. And the reason why it'll be more useful in the guild war and tournament arenas is basically because of those spore mines. They're going to get in the way, they are going to get the chance to explode, and it will actually be an asset. Now, we don't know how often that these can be used, if they're just going to be a one use only in the guild war, or if they can be able to be used in every battle. But as soon as we know that, I'll be sure to let you know. If you like these videos, then it would be much appreciated if you at least think about using my friend code, as it really does help me out. Or if you or your guilds are looking for a new home, please reach out to any of the guilds shown, as we'll always welcome new people into our midst. As always, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll be seeing you on the battlefield.